Hey, hello, what's going on? So, unfortunately, we couldn't stream yesterday because I got kind of cucked at work. Long story short, hey, you're doing the 24-hour shift. Oh, fuck. Well, damn, I wish I would have known in advance. I woke up at 5:30. Yeah, get fucked. So, no stream yesterday because I was out of desk for 24 hours, but I was able to get a lot done, and today's my day off because we get a day of recovery as soon as we do the 24-hour shift, which is whatever, I guess a long weekend. So, no excuses. I can actually get stuff done. So, I'm actually kind of tied up today a little bit, so I'm gonna do this for like 50 minutes. I'll come back, maybe do this again, then do sprite work later. But I gotta take care of a couple extra things. Tomorrow I'll have more time. Okay. Anyways, let's just see what did we get to last time. Oh, okay. I know where we're at. So let me just read this over again, then we'll get right to it. So about 40 minutes, then we shall return later on today. Okay. So the fear of being watched is not always what you see. Sometimes it lies in what you can't see. Imagine walking into a room where everything appears silent and still. No eyes meet yours. No figures looking in the shadows. Also, Elden Ring. Nice. Yet an oppressive feeling presses down, a sensation that you're being observed by something that refuses to reveal itself. This is the domain of the unseen watcher, a gaze without a face, a presence without a body. It is the very essence of cosmic horror. The awareness that you're not being observed by a creature or a spirit, by an unknowable, indifferent force beyond human comprehension. In this kind of horror, the watcher isn't an enemy you can outright confront. It watches you and it knows everything. There's no escape, no refuge. The horror here is existential. It strips away the comforting illusion that observation requires eyes or attention. You realize that to be watched is not always to be seen. It means to be at the mercy of an invisible gaze that demands nothing but your awareness. The psychological weight of this realization crushes hope. It turns every shadow into a potential danger zone. In horror games, this concept is conveyed through environmental design, ambiguous sound cues, and narratives that leave the watcher's identity deliberately vague or absent. We, we've pretty much covered everything on this. I just gotta finish the section properly. But yeah, this is actually really not that bad. And I'm pretty sure the next section is the Watcher doesn't act. So let's write a sentence that can actually lead into that. So again, I'm giving myself like at least 30 to 40 minutes. I'll take care of IRL things, come back, and I'll be streaming for the rest of the day. I have nothing planned for the next couple of days. So no excuses. Work will be done. No videos released though, but work will be done. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to finish this? All right. Does it need to act? Its mere presence is enough to shatter reality, and I cannot fucking spell. Okay. Um, we're like 5 minutes in, and I already want to be cringe. The unseen watcher doesn't need to act. Its mere presence is enough to shatter reality. It's always present, never responding. Hmm. All right, that's good. All right, let me just read what I wrote. Then I think we should be good at wrapping up because everything else seemed like it was fine. The unseen watcher doesn't need to act. Its mere presence is enough to shatter reality. It's always present, never responding, never blinking. It's the eye that never closes. Okay. All right. I think that's good. So, as usual, I don't have my outline up, but I'm pretty sure the next section was the watcher doesn't act. It's just watching you. That's all it does. Okay. But before we even do that, let's, because it's been a day since I last streamed, let's look at what we have. That's the introduction. Surveillance is an ancient fear. The brains aspect of it, specifically the Amgala. The 1984 portion of it. Yeah. It watching you. The psychological collapse. Yeah, this seems really good for what we have. Like, this is gonna be a relatively short one, I believe. Like, this will be the next video I release, but I did not. Yeah, I have decided my next batch of videos because I'm pretty sure obviously I have to do a lore files. That's priority at this point. We do probably a Tight Moon one because it's been like a couple. It's been a month, and we'll be doing the art of storytelling for Parasite Eve because I did a lore files on Rule of Roles months ago. So I think Parasite Eve, say what you will, it's still considered anti quote horror with RPG elements. So it's just the scariest part of Parasite Eve is the dialogue because that's some big brain, very, very big brain stuff. And I'm not even joking. Whenever anybody asks me about Parasite Eve, I tell them I learned more about biology in Parasite Eve than I did in school at times. I think I lost track of how many times that mitochondria was actually mentioned. Like, holy shit. Like, ugh. Also, Eve is hype. Okay, let's see. So let's talk about when the watcher doesn't act. It's just observing. Give me one sec. Technically, it is my day off, but as I've mentioned before, just because it's my day off, it's not my day off. All right. Interesting. Okay. Give me like 1 minute to make sure everything's okay before I start again. Okay. All right. So the watcher doesn't act. I'm thinking of an example. I guess since I've been talking about Fatal Frame recently, a good example is when Hachishaku-sama first sees you. So she's always watching. Well, she's literally just always watching. And then when she finally attacks, she finally attacks. But for the first like spooks she does, she appears as a figure, a very tall figure in the background, just grilling you. Then she starts her attacking later on in the game. But yeah, I guess that's a good example. But I've used Fatal Frame a lot, so there is other examples. Don't mind me. Usually I think aloud, so don't mind me. Mhm. But yeah, I think Hachisaku-sama is pretty good to use there, just as a point of reference. Okay. All right. We'll just write stuff and we'll go from there. Movement, man's attention. Movement commands attention. Signals threat. Signals threat. Wow. Signals threats. Movement commands attention. It signals threat. But sometimes stillness. The absence. The absence of action. Yeah, that creates the deepest dread. He's just standing there menacingly, pretty much. You just they're watching you, but they're just not doing anything. Be a little more descriptive here. So again, using Hachisaku-sama as an example, she just stays stationary for a good chunk of her appearances. Then later on, she starts to be active, and then she goes right back to just stalking you. And like I mentioned this before, the first time when I was playing it, I'm like, oh shit, it's Hachisaku-sama, a very very tall ghost that likes shotas. So I'm like, oh, all right, hey, what's up? That all right? And nice seeing you. It was very interesting that they brought you here. Then she started appearing more and more. I'm like, oh, okay, so you're here more. You're a reoccurring ghost. All right, that's cool. Whatever. Then she follows you to Hisoka's coffee shop. I'm like, oh, you're that ghost. Then it proceeded to go downhill from there. I'm like, oh fuck, you're really you're being super extra right now. Like the camera jump scare definitely got me. I'm not gonna deny that. Like I usually use that for footage, was specific footage. I'm like, wow, that just shows the magnitude of your height, and it shows how uh again she likes shotas, so it shows how clingy as a ghost she is. Like once she latches onto you, like you're all right, but yeah, she's for the most part she's stationary, just shows up from time to time, just making her presence known. Then she'll become aggressive, then go back to being passive. But she's a very notorious ghost though, that's for sure. Just don't be a Shota. And that's the funny thing. It's like Fatal Frame characters are like they're adults, teenagers going on adults. With Ren being like an old ass, well, not old ass man. He's a straight up adult in Ahsoka. Well, she's KO for the majority of the time, but the majority of ghost MCs are like teenagers. All right, so movement commands attention. It signals threat, but sometimes it is stillness, the absence of action that creates the deepest dread. So again, he's just standing there menacingly. So in many horror games, figures lurk. Well, figures lurk in the distance. Figures lurk in the distance, or even better, appear in your peripheral vision, or appear. Ooh, how the fuck do I spell this again? It's P E R I, yeah, I P. peripheral. There we go. Peripheral vision. So figures lurk in the distance or appear in your peripheral vision. Yet they do not move. Yet they don't move. Again, using Hachisaku-sama as an example, she shows up and is like, "Oh, yeah, you're just being there menacingly. That's it. You're very tall, very very tall, and you're just looming over us." Hmm. Yet they don't move. Well, it's just not just the enemies. I guess environmental like objects such as statues, I guess could be used here. Not just monsters. So statues, shadowy, shadowy figures. I wouldn't even use mannequins or like. I'd rather not. I already used it because again, I hate mannequins. Can't stand them. Okay. Frozen in place. Nothing but watch. I'm gonna do like another 10 minutes because I do have some IRL stuff I need to take care of. So again, I'm not doing anything tonight. So this is gonna be I can probably get like 3 more streams out of the way. I will alternate between this one and sprite animation. So when I get back, I'll do sprite animation. I'll double back and do this again. Then probably do sprite animation again. So this whole entire weekend, I'm just gonna be working. It just sprite animation just takes a lot of time because I'm doing a lot of extra work that I probably should not be doing, but it's all good. Give me a sec. Oh, whoops. Do nothing but watch. I guess I can be a little. I guess I could give an example. I guess. Okay, give it like a little example. Imagine, imagine standing. Imagine standing. Oh, Code Veronica. Yeah, the crazy doctor. Yeah, oh yeah, that night that nightmare fuel. That was cool. Like I do admit, like that when I was a wee little lad in the Stone Ages, that was actually a really good sequence of events. It's like the camera positioning, the body bag opening up as soon as Claire goes through the door. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's the good mojo juju right there. Then coming back and seeing him munching on the zombie, yeah, that's very good use of that's a good use of camera positioning, tension, and all that fun stuff. Like, yeah, that's perfect. So imagine standing in a dark hallway. At the far end, far end. Oh yeah, figure stands unmoving. Figure stands unmoving. Eyes locked onto you. You wait for it to approach. You wait for it to approach. To attack. Or to make any movement at all. But it doesn't. Or another good example would be we've used this before, Silent Hill 2 OG Pyramid Head and the Pyramid Head when he's first introduced. Red Pyramid Head. There we go. He's just standing there. You know how intimidating he looks, but he's just not doing it. He's just watching you. Simply stands. Movement commands attention. It signals threat, but sometimes it is stillness, the absence of action, that creates the deepest dread. In many horror games, figures lurk in the distance or appear in your peripheral vision. Yet they do not move. Yet they don't move. Not just monsters, but environmental objects can instill fear into the player. Statues, shadowy figures, or faces frozen in place do nothing but watch. Imagine standing alone in a dark hallway. At the far end, a figure stands unmoving, eyes locked onto you. You wait for it to approach, to attack, to make any movement at all, but it simply stands. Is it waiting? Is it waiting? Is it waiting for you to come closer? So, a very tense game of chicken. Is it waiting for you to come closer? Is it has it already decided your fate? Very presence satisfy it. Yeah, that's good. Satisfy. You're at its mercy for the most part. Like you're the one who's terrified of him not of it or whatever's watching you not doing anything. So it's the judge. Yeah, it becomes a judge. So stillness transforms the watcher. Transforms the watcher. From predator to judge. From predator to judge. It's not even about the physical aspect of it. It's not becomes psychological. Like it's screwing you up because you're panicking internally. Why is it not doing anything? I'm safe, but am I really safe? So it becomes a psychological torment at the end of the day. So the horror is no longer about physical harm. Wow, the hell's all that? No longer about physical harm, but psychological torment. Psychological torment. You're trapped. You're trapped in a moment where nothing happens. Nothing happens. You're trapped in a moment where nothing happens, but everything is implied. Ooh, I like that. Is implied. Again, using Red Pyramid as an example, that's perfect. It's like you as the player see him, he's an imposing force. He's not like anything you've seen before, but he's not doing anything. He's just observing James, and that's it. You, stretch. So horror games use this. Sus. Horror games use this crafting environments by crafting environments. So in Pyramid Head's case, he's just lingering there. So where the threat lingers silently, which forces the players to, which forces the player to wrestle with unease. No, with uncertainty, because you don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Uncertainty, anticipation, and dread. And dread. Because the worst type of fear you get that sinking feeling in your stomach, which is where I'm getting at. But we can be a little bit cheeky right now. I got something right here because I don't want to end this just like that. Because the worst type of fear is fear of the unknown. Because fear of the unknown is a common thing. So, huh? It's too fuck. I should start wrapping this up. All right. Like I said, I got a couple things I need to take care of real quick while the sun's still out. Just a couple IRL things that I'll come back later. I'll do some sprite animation. Probably come back again, do more of this, then do more sprite animation. So we have a should be busy streaming day unless work happens, which I gotta stop everything and just get to it, but probably not. Okay. The gaze, the gaze, in a sense, the gaze that doesn't, that does not, that does not act is the gaze that condemns, that condemns. In a sense, the gaze that does not act is the gaze that condemns. That condemns. TM. All right, so let's read this. Movement commands attention. It signals threat, but sometimes it is stillness. Oh, my eyes. It is stillness, the absence of action that creates the deepest dread. In many horror games, figures lurk in the distance or appear in your peripheral vision, yet they do not move. Not just monsters, but environmental objects can instill fear into the player. Statues, shadowy figures, or faces frozen in place do nothing but watch. Imagine standing alone in a dark hallway. At the far end, a figure stands unmoving, eyes locked onto you. You wait for it to approach, to attack, to make any movement at all, but it simply stands. It is waiting for you to come closer. Has it already decided your fate? Or does your very presence satisfy it? The stillness transforms the watcher from predator to judge. The horror is no longer about physical harm, but psychological torment. You are trapped in a moment where nothing happens, but everything is implied. Horror games use this by crafting environments where the threat lingers silently, which forces players to wrestle with uncertainty, anticipation, and dread. Because the worst type of fear is fear of the unknown. In a sense, the gaze does not act. The gaze that does not act is the gaze that condemns. I like it. Okay. All right, we'll wrap it up right now. Like I said, I'll be back a little bit later. I gotta go take care of some IRL things. I'll do some sprite animation. Then after that, I'll do some more of this. And that's it. I technically have 3 days off, so I'm just gonna be working the entire time. So be expecting a lot of streams unless something apocalyptic happens that prevents me from streaming. So good stuff. I'll see people later. Have a good rest of your day.